Well, okay, can you believe it? We are at the end of the course. Congratulations. We have 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks. This is December 1st, first day of December. Theoretically, you completed peer review last night. Okay, I'll be checking. Peer review counts for a lot on this paper, a lot in this course. So I hope you've done a good job. Behooves you. So here's what you're going to do next. You're going to revise your paper. You never turn in the very first thing you've written, okay? That was one of the purposes of peer review. You're going to revise your paper. That doesn't mean rewriting it. I'm not talking about that. I mean, you're going to go through it carefully, right? It's a word process document. It's easy to make the changes, all right? You're going to make sure that every paragraph begins with the topic sentence, okay? Never begin with your source material. If I see that in your papers, I'll know you didn't watch this video, which I never understand, okay? So every paragraph begins with the topic sentence, the point you want to make in that paragraph, and then you use the support, your references, your research to support that statement that you just made. Do not let the quotes do the writing for you, okay? You start every paragraph in your own words with your own thinking, and then you use the research to show how smart you are, basically, okay? Also be looking for page length. I'm not kidding, okay? Minimum number of pages is 10 full pages, correctly formatted according to MLA standards, all right? So I'm looking for paragraphs, I'm looking for topic sentences, I'm also looking for correct quoting. Did you use author tags? Did you smoothly integrate the quote into the paragraph, okay, into a sentence of your own, all right? Does every paragraph have in-text citations? If they don't, it reads like an editorial. We're not writing an editorial here. You always use in-text citations, not only for direct quotes, but also for paraphrases and summaries, okay? Did you write an introduction that has a thesis statement in it that shows the reader what you're going to prove, how you're going to prove it, in the order in which you're going to prove it, okay? Did you do that, all right? Does your introduction match your conclusion? Do you actually have a conclusion that carefully summarizes the paper, that unfolds just like your introduction unfolded, and unfolds in the same order of your paper, okay? The introduction and the conclusion need to match each other. In the introduction, you tell the reader what you're going to prove, how you're going to prove it. The conclusion says, see, I did this, all right? So read your conclusion, read your introduction, make sure they match. Does your conclusion contain a summary of 3 or 4 of the major highlights of the paper, and then does it kind of sign off, okay? You don't have to get too creative. This is not a creative writing project, all right? I'm looking for a writer's memo at the end, also rather, as a second submission. I don't like it at the end of the paper, okay? I often miss it, all right? At the end of the paper, you have to have your works cited list, okay? So a separate writer's memo. If you fail to submit that with the paper, you lose 10 points. If you submit the paper and can't get back in, because you can't, but you have your writer's memo, you'll have to email it to me to the course message center, so I'll know where it is, okay? I have a lot of grading to do right at the very end of the class. It's a very tense time for me, and I don't have a lot of patience, all right, for a lot of errors on your part. You've had the whole semester, please, to get this right, okay? Serious about page length. If you run out of things to say, expand the paper from the middle by providing more examples, more detail, more specifics, more references to your expert testimony, okay? That's pretty much my notes. Look at what your peers had to say, okay? It's not about grammar, don't forget, it's about critical thinking. Have you proven something in your paper? Did this paper teach you something, and did it teach the reader something you didn't know, something we didn't know, or is it just a data dump? Okay, you need to ask yourself that question. If it's a data dump, you lose critical thinking points, okay? So you need to prove in something. We've talked about that the entire semester. Works cited, make sure your works cited list is correct. Okay, there's plenty of resources. If you go over to the help menu on the left-hand side of the paper, they're all the left-hand side of the Blackboard. All right, you'll see plenty of citing help there. Okay, I intend to put some more help in the announcement for this week about author tags and that kind of thing. Don't forget, this is an internet course. I've not been able to sit here the whole time and lecture to you, for an hour and 15 minutes a day, twice a week, or 55 minutes a day, 3 times a week. Not being able to do that. You wouldn't even like that, okay? So a lot of this, I provided the material. Hope you read it, and then you have to make the most of it, okay? So I'm going to be grading these very rigorously, very seriously. You've had plenty of time for peer review. You've had plenty of time to write the paper. You've had plenty of time. You're going to have plenty of time to create the draft. And there is no late work at this point. You cannot be late. The class ends on Monday night, December 14th. That's it. I will not accept any late material. That's not fair to me. It's not fair to the rest of the class. It's particularly not fair to me. I have my own obligations at that point, very serious obligations. So there's no sense letting me know if you have any questions because I think I've covered everything. Okay. I don't want to hear from you with any excuses. I want you to do the work, get it done, get it turned in on time. Do not forget the writer's memo. Okay. Make sure I have that. Make sure it's at least a full page describing the course. What did you learn from the course? Okay. What did you learn from doing this particular project? Don't repeat the research paper, please. And also talk a little bit about peer review. So hey, I think it's been a good course. I hope you all have enjoyed it too. Hope you feel like you've learned something. I feel it's been worthwhile. I've enjoyed our dialogue going back and forth. I've certainly enjoyed the PowerPoints, and now I'll be looking forward to reading your papers. So hey, good luck.